About noon yesterday, we were working on putting a fence up over here, and we seen some black smoke out Carlos Avery, and thought it was maybe the DNR people, you know, doing some burning. And then pretty soon smoke was getting blacker, and I went out to the back 40, and it was already, you know, the pine trees were burning, so the flames were up about 100 feet high at that point. But with the wind blowing, and we thought it was going to go by here, but it came through, and with the not being a fire around here for a lot of years, that it burned up pretty fast. The fire was going so fast that it didn't really burn anything but just the dead grass that was on the ground. The fire department was here all day. Them guys did a wonderful job. The DNR, them people, they were just excellent on their response. We started out at the neighbors down here, and as the wind kept swishing, we just kept working our way back here. And you know, we were lucky the barn back here didn't get burned up, because the fire was just into the woods there within 100 yards of here. And the fire department and DNR, they were wonderful. I mean, they saved the buildings here, no doubt about it. It was starting to make me a little bit nervous. Yep, the horses were getting real skittish, but the cows, they laid here, and I just gave them some more grain. But at one point, it was so smoky here, you couldn't see into the woods. It was that bad. We burned up to about 100 acres of my property burned, and it didn't do no damage to anything. You know, they luckily they were able to get out in the field, the game farm people and the firefighters, and like you say, they did a wonderful job. I was impressed with the way they did that. It was about noon when we first seen it, maybe 12:30, and by 4:30, 5 o'clock, it was on us, and it went from being in the woods, just seeing the smoke, to being within, you know, 100 yards of my house in minutes. And like I said, the wind kicked up, and it was really burning.
They said there's a landing strip here. Yes. Did that cause any problem whatsoever?
No, that worked out really well, because we mowed that, and it worked like a big fire break for us. Because the grass was short there, so there was no problem. Anoka County Sheriff showed up and arrested one of the firefighters that was here, made him take off all of this stuff, and handcuffed him and put him in the squad car. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what happened there, but apparently it was the guy that maybe started it.
And this traffic going. So then I called the neighbor Jeff and said, "What's going on? There's a fire. Go outside and look." There was smoke, and then I looked out our back window through my living room window. I could see the flames, and it was like, oh my word. And so put the photo albums and other items in the back of the van, and didn't leave, because the neighbors down the road had been evacuated and were parked here, because they were waiting, because we were all fearful that if we left, we wouldn't be able to come back in. So yeah, it just...
When the fire kept moving,
yeah,
it went towards Lino Lakes, part of it, but then the other part kept going east, which then came across from my house.
Right. But, and then we came this way, and in the back of our property here, it started burning, and my husband went out, and then the fire crews used their smaller vehicles and came on our four-wheeler truck and started putting the fire out that way. So... And it was a long day. It was like from 1 to 9, 1 to 10 last night. Yep, a lot of phone calls back and forth trying to figure out where everybody was.
Take pictures of your house.
And what's going on.
There's my advice. Yeah, and put it somewhere other than your house.
Yeah, and figuring out what are you going to take. It makes you think, what are you going to take?